Hi, my name is Bianca Kutsia, and my two literacies are field hockey and theatre. Not really liking netball. At the age of 9, I followed a friend to her hockey practice one day, and I instantly fell in love with the sport. Even though I started in the B team, hockey became my passion. It wasn't uncommon for me to fall asleep with my shin pads still on. I've always been a dramatic and even weird child, but at least I wasn't alone. My sister always dressed up with me, and my brother loved to humor me in my endeavors. And when I stepped on the stage for the first time at the age of 6, I felt at home, and I took every chance I got to perform. Being two completely different literacies, I experienced quite similar challenges through my journeys. It took hard work and a lot of failed auditions. A stage can feel like a lonely place, and a team without support can go up into flames, but I never let that stop me, and eventually I reached my goals. My role models in hockey was my father, being a hockey coach and all, and my sister, even though I was the one who introduced her to the sport in the first place. We are a very big hockey family, and we even umpire together on weekends. We inspire each other by working together. In my theatre career, I looked up at my classmates, but my biggest inspiration was my teacher. He was the best producer I've ever seen, and I hope to become half the teacher he was one day. But I also have to give props to my crazy family for our fun family performances.
Hello everyone. In my competency, I'll be discussing two types of literacies, which is basic literacy, and also I'll be discussing social literacy. How I actually acquired the skill, and to be specific, my skill in this discussion will be the sport of chess. There's no perfect way to actually do it. Um, Actually, practice makes perfect. You have to practice until you actually acquire the skill. There's no other way to do it. I actually acquired the skill from my middle school all the way to my high school, which is my early developmental stages of childhood. I got acquitted with the skill, and I was able to represent my school and my cluster at the provincial competitions by the government, and we eventually got to the top 10 of the national scheme, and we were crowned the tag team champions for middle school, which was for the under 11/12 group. And as of the moment, I'm actually quite equipped with the Tax Chess Society. Now, one of the challenges that I've gotten was personality wise, looking at how I am not as well, rather, I was still shy and timid, and my social skills were not as well. So, look at how it requires cognitive thinking and a lot of social skills. Back then, it was quite a hassle. So the role players that actually played are the people that actually gave me the platform to learn and actually to be where I am right now.
Hi, my name is Cecilia, and welcome to my literacy journey. My two literacies are numeracy and knitting. How my literacy skills was acquired. My numeracy literacy skills started in my early childhood education when teachers taught me the ability to use, interpret, and communicate mathematical information to solve real-life problems. I then acquired my knitting skills by observing my mom. She taught me the two basics of knitting, first one being concentrating and second one being taking my time and not rushing the process in order to be fluent in the knitting field. Numeracy literacy and knitting overlaps because I used my numeracy skills to work out yarn amounts and stitch counts. Challenges faced throughout my journey and how I overcame them. My numeracy was challenged by my secondary education as complex order numerical cognition was presented, and it was very difficult for me to deal with high order mathematical questions and felt discouraged, but I did not give up. I consulted my teacher about it, and she taught me the notion of problem solving skills and how to deal with mathematical questions that require high order reasoning. When it comes to knitting, at first I had difficulties in holding the tension of my working yarn steadily, which resulted in uneven knitted fabric caused by loose stitches, and it stressed me out each time I made such mistake. My mother saw my struggle and told me to give it time, as it is a common mistake when knitting that will improve over time with practice. I then found a relaxed, reliable way to hold the yarn, and it was now perfect. I had two role players in my literacy journey. First one being teachers who nurtured me with critical thinking skills and introduced me to the world of numbers and mathematics. They gave me purpose and set me up for success. Family also played a role by inspiring and influencing me throughout my literacy journey. My mom did not only taught me how to pick up two sharp pointy stick and transform a ball of yarn into work of art, but also motivated and encouraged me to have passion for mathematics. Thank you for listening to my literacy history.
Hi, my name is Janae, and the following slide shows the truth behind my journey on becoming literate in gymnastics and ancient hieroglyphic reading and writing will be explained. I chose to begin studying ancient hieroglyphic reading and writing as a pastime activity when I was only 14 years old, after it was introduced to me by my grandmother, who was an Egyptologist. As I began to acquire the skill due to her help, I learned that this was a very difficult language to learn, and the spelling and grammar was very esoteric. Luckily now, after her guide and mentorship, I am now able to draw reasonable facsimiles of Egyptian symbols, and I am able to read them fluently. I became interested in gymnastics at the tender age of 6, when my grandmother told me a story about how gymnastics was actually first depicted in ancient Egyptian artifacts that dated back to as far as 7,000 years ago. Due to her passion for Egypt and my love for this competitive sport, it thus led to me becoming a gymnast. With hieroglyphics, unfortunately, there were no teaching software to help me except for my grandmother's knowledge centered about the topic. I also realized that this was quite a time-consuming activity because it took me over 6 years to get a fundamental grasp of this literacy and the Egyptian texts. Gymnastics caused me to stumble into many mental blocks, which led to me questioning myself on if this was worth it. As a gymnast, I also had to maintain my flexibility, which had me practicing for up to 6 hours just to maintain it. Essentially, with gymnastics, you learn to squeeze muscles you never knew you had. But with all of the support of my family members, I had managed to overcome these barricades, and I flourished in both of these literacies. In terms of my inspiration and determination, my grandmother was the person who guided me through all of the challenges that I had faced and ultimately molded me to follow in the same footsteps as she once did.
Good day, my name is Dave Lingers and I will be discussing rugby and bodybuilding as my two literacies. Rugby, how I learned and acquired this literacy was through my father introducing the game to me, but I learned and acquired the skills of the literacies through my coaches in primary school and high school and just by playing the game. Bodybuilding, I have acquired and learned this literacy through reading a book of the world fittest book on earth by Ross Edley, and also by Christian Bumstead's educational bodybuilding videos on YouTube. The challenges of both uh, are injuries. On the left hand side is a ligament tore on my ankle at rugby. The second one is demotivation and getting bullied by people telling you you won't become successful in your bodybuilding career or in your rugby career. This got me through the loneliness and sadness in life, and how I overcome these challenges was by going through therapy, and how the therapist taught me how to have a positive mindset in life. Christian Bumstead, Mr. Colin Fisher, and my family were the role models in my literacies. All three of these role models had my back every step of the way, and all three role models helped me understand how hard work can pay off in life. Christian Bumstead helped me to understand the bodybuilding literacy through his educational videos and helped me get a better positive mindset through the bodyboarding by Don't Listen to Your Haters. Mr. Colin Fouchier helped me through my rugby literacy to understand the game better and how to be a better leader in life.